Okay, fine. So this is the book website created by Shreyansh. So let's register ourselves here. Okay, if I have written the password till 6 digit, it is saying that password should be till 6. Very good. And we can log in here. We came to the login page. Okay, very good. Okay, that's all. Okay, very good. So unlock the world of knowledge, log out, all books, self-help. So you are sorting the books also. Self-help books, spiritual books, fantasy books, historical fiction, and these are the all books. So there is one 365 days with self-discipline. So click on read and it is opening the book as well. Very good. This book is actually very good. The discipline of 365 or 365 days with self discipline. Because I don't believe in motivation, I am a person who believe in discipline. And this book will teach you that how you can get something by being in discipline. So that's very good. Gita also we can read here. Very good. It's excellent, Shriyansh. Biography of Swami Vivekanand. Very good. You know who was Swami Vivekanand? Why he is so famous? Why Swami Vivekananda is so famous? So he was in Chicago, America, and there people started mocking India that what you gave to the world, India is a very poor country, Indians don't know anything like that. You have developed only zero, you have discovered only zero. So Swami Vivekananda gave a lecture there, means a seminar on zero that lasted till 22 hours. He spoke 22 hours continuously on zero. That what is zero, why zero, this, that. He explained everything on zero only. It's too good, Shreyans. I like the static header as well. That's fine. I like good work, right? So this Albert Einstein book is not visible. Try to check it. And inner engineering is also not visible. Man Ki Baat, this is visible. Chanakya, this is not visible. Chava, this is visible. Think and Grow Rich, this is good. 48 Laws of Power, this is also good. Okay, very good. That's fine. And log out button is also working. Very good, Bharak Shreyansh. Very good. Anyone who else developed the book app, just drop your links in the chat box so that we can check. If you haven't developed, then we'll start the class. Did anyone done with the project? Okay, fine. So now let's start our discussion on services. Services. Last time also we have done something in services like that, but you didn't understood anything. So let's go back and remove everything. In your word, what is a service? In your normal words, service is something that you can use multiple time. Let's say I am having a bottle with me for taking water. Now I can take water as many as time using this bottle. So this bottle is working like a service to me, right? This bottle is working like a service to me. This bottle is giving me the service. So we'll write that we can define the services as a medium to do some work or to do some work or to perform some action. Generally, services are reusable. Services are reusable. Means you can reuse the services as many as time you want to use them. These are the services in normal words. Now we will discuss in Angular. So in Angular, services are used to share data, logic, or functionality across the different components, different components. They help in maintaining a clean architecture by separating business logic. Let me give you a very clear cut definition here. If you are doing something more than one time, if you are doing something more than one time in your project, create a service for it, because you don't have to write the logic again and again. You don't have to write the logic again and again. For that, what we will do is let's create a new project. So we'll go to Angular field, ng new services. So I'm creating a new project using name services. We'll use normal CSS. VS Code is lagging, so wait. So it has started getting the project. It will take time. Till then, we will use right here. Why to use services? If you are saying that we have to use services, what is the one reason that you want to use service? So the first reason is code reusability. It means that if you are writing a same logic at two places, I will write it. So it will give you code reusability, means you can write a code at one place, reuse it at any time you want to reuse. That's it. Second is separation of concern. Third is dependency injection. Fourth is state management. Fifth is asynchronous operations. So this is what are the, like, these are the main concerns for that we use dependent these services. Now I'm going, let me give you a case here that where we can use it. Let's say you have an Angular application in which you are having two components. What you are having? Two components. So let's say this is your component A and this is your component B. This is your component B. Now what you are doing, in both of the input box, you are showing a input box. What you are doing? You are showing a input box. In this input box, what you are doing? In this input box, what you are doing? You are accepting a number from user. Let's say user has written here 5. And you, then there will be a calculate button. There will be a calculate button. And this button will calculate the factorial of the number. Understood? Factorial, you understood? What is factorial? Like in Python or Java, you might have studied about factorial, right? Core Python or core Java. 5 factorial equals to 120? 125. Sir, you had breakfast today? First tell me, hello, you had breakfast today? Didn't seem like that you had breakfast today. How it will be 125? 4 factorial? 24. 4 factorial 24. And 5 factorial? 24 multiplied by 5. How much? 120. Square of 5 is 125. Right? He's saying yes. Square of 5 is 25. Cube of 5 is 125. And we will do the same thing in the second component as well. That same thing we will do here as well. There will be an input box. User will write the value, calculate, check. Okay? Fine. Same logic, nothing we will do. So go to TypeScript and our project is created. So first go to your project and open it. So our project is working fine. Now what we will do is, in the same project, let's generate two components as first and second. So first we'll go to the project directory, ng generate component first, ng generate component second. Done. In app.ts we need to import them, right? So here I will import first component. Let's it load first. It's loading. So we have to write it manually. First component, and we are importing it from we are app component is available in simple app folder. So dot slash will keep here dot slash here we are services, we are inside book depot. So we need to import these things. So I'll import, it's loading, wait. First component, and we'll load it from, let it get load first. First slash first component. So we have imported both of these components. We'll use them here. So same thing, first component as well, second component. In the HTML file of here, I will render app hyphen first, and after this, I'll give a break tag, or let's give a HR tag, and then app hyphen second. Okay, and we'll get first work, second works. Now what I will do is in the first component, I will create a container. So Dave, inside this, I will create a heading that calculate the factorial. After that, we'll give an input box. Input type as tell you can give. After that, we'll create a button. Button will say calculate. So first is coming in this way, calculate the factorial, calculate. After that, we'll create a h3 tag so that we can display the answer here. Now you need these things in the TypeScript. So TypeScript will have something as result. It will have something as result whose type will be number and initial value will be null. Result, okay, you don't assign it anything. And result. You just declare something as result of type number and give its initial value as 1. Result, or directly you can write result equals to null or anything you can weigh. Here in first component, we will use string interpolation to declare that value as result. Here it will be coming by default as 1. If you want to remove that, result should be equals to null. Okay. Now that is removed. What I will do, simple thing, I will write a number here, press on calculate button. It will calculate the factorial. For that, you should hold the value of input box, right? You should hold the value of this input box. For that, I will write one variable as well, and its initial value is null, or no problem. Here, which event we need to call? Input box, input event, right? We will call the input event here. On input event, it will call a function change value. And what it will send from here? Dollar event. It will send the event of input. This we have already done. Now you should have that change value function in this particular way. So I will write change value and declare one number here. So I will declare one number whose initial value is 0. In this change value function, it is accepting one event of type any. Then you will set that number. This dot number is equals to event dot target dot value. Event dot target dot value. So whatever number you are writing here, it will be going into the number. Do one thing, let's attach a function to this button. So this button will have a click event and it will call a function name as uh, calculate function. So it is calling a calculate function. Now we should have a calculate function. What this function will do, at now it is printing the value of number to the console. That's it. Because at first we should check the working of both the functions. So if I am writing here something as 1, 2, 3 and press calculate button, it is getting printed. It means that your value is coming inside the number variable. What you need to do, you need to create the factorial. So fact is having initial value as 1. So if you have remember the logic of fact, what you need to do, you need to run a loop from where, from 1 till, so I is not defined, you can say let I equals to 1, I will be less than equals to this dot number, and I plus plus. What it will do, it will say this dot fact equals to this dot fact multiply by I, right? And at last we will print the value of fact to console. So let's check it once. So I'll write 4 here, press calculate, and 24 it is printing. Let's check 52880. Why? Storing the previous value in input box, because you are not refreshing it. Refresh. Now write 5 and this time the answer is 120. And if you are writing here 4, you know in their value that is getting stored is 54. So it will show you the answer of 54. So what you need to do after that, no, window not reload, because how you will show the answer after that? We need to make this input box empty. So after printing this value to console, we need to set the value of number as 0. We have to set the value of number as 0. For that, after printing it to console, I will write this dot number is equals to 0. How you will write it there? So like this I will write that value equals to number. It means that this input box will have a by default value like something like 0, right? So let's try it once. Go to console, check for 5, 120 is coming, and check for 4. Okay, again. Wait. Value input value equals to, okay, no problem. So just write the value of this input box will be coming from Mr. interpolation number. Now it is having by default value as 0. So you can remove this 0 and type 5. So 120 is coming. Remove it, keep 4. Okay. It's storing the previous value. because it is storing the value of fact as well. So after printing the value to console, keep the fact value to 5. Means if it is calculated 5, then keep it as 1 again. So here we'll check it with 5, 1, check it with 4, 24. Okay. Now we are getting the right answer. How we will show that result? Just set this result into the result section. So I will say that this dot result equals to this dot fact. Type number is not assignable to null. So write it as any. Refresh, keep here 5 and we are getting 120, keep here 4, we are getting 24, right? We are getting the factorial. If you want to calculate the factorial in next component, same code you need to write there also. You need to write the same code. So let's try it once. So in second component, we'll open HTML file first. In the second component, we'll open the HTML file. Whatever code we have written here, same we'll write here as well. Then first is already open, typescript file. Copy paste all these things here as well. Now this is the first component, this is the second component. For a clarification, let's add this value. So in this div, I will write a heading as first component. First component, and in the second as well, I will write a heading second component. Now let's say you are calculating factorial here 120, you are creating factorial here 720. That is fine. But our case is why we are writing this logic multiple time. If you are using this in 10 components, you have to write the logic because you are calculating your factorial multiple times. You have to keep it multiple times. As a developer, it is a good thing that you are writing same code, no change in the code. Did we made any change? No change. Then why are you writing it again and again? So we can, this is a logic of factorial. Logic of factorial. So I am saying that create a service, write that logic in a service. That's it. And use the service here. You will say how we'll do that. For that, let's generate a service as first. So how we will generate it? Ng generate service factorial. So I am generating a service by the name as factorial. Okay. So created, see shortcut I am writing, you can write full ng generate service factorial. So I have created a service as name factorial. Where it will come? Where it is coming? src src app here. So directly it is coming. So what I will do, I will create it in a folder. Factorial service, I will create it, these files in a folder. For that, in your app folder, create a service folder. Go to the service folder now. So it is in src app and then you are in the service folder. In that I will say ng generate service factorial. So generated. Let's remove all of these things. We got a services folder. In that folder, there are two files. These. In that, this is the main one. Injectable angular core like this, like this, like this. That's it. Write the logic here. So here you have a calculate fact function. You have a calculate fact function. This function will take one number. This function will accept one number value. So let's say it will accept one number value of any type, or let's say of number type, any you can keep. This function will accept a value, and what it will do with the value? It will declare something as fact, which will be in number whose initial value is 1. Or you can write fact equals to 1. Because you this is a part, so declare it in the class section that fact having value as 1. Same logic, you will run a loop, let I equals to 1 semicolon I less than equals to num semicolon I plus plus fact. So this dot fact equals to this dot fact multiplied by I. That's it. After this for loop, value will go into the fact. Value will change in the fact. So let's try to use this service in our first component. So you'll go to first, open the typescript file and remove these things. This logic of calculate, remove this. We'll not write this logic. Then what logic we will write? Because we have attached a calculate function to our button, it will find that function. So I will say, okay, keep the function and then remove everything. Whatever logic you are writing, don't write it. Create a constructor. For that, first you should import the service here. So I have imported the factorial service. I will create a constructor here. In constructor, I will create a variable private fact, and the type of this private fact will be of factorial service. Fact is having here also and here also, so I am writing F here. Naming clash. So I have created the F of the type factorial service. It means that in your project now you can use this F as a service. In the calculate function, I will write this, or do one thing, your service is returning the value of, so this particular function return fact. This function is returning the value of fact. Accept it here. So I will write this dot result equals to f dot calculate fact. It will accept a number because you have written there that this will be accepting a number. So where you have number? In the number section. So feed that value to this function. Let's try it once. Working fine. Now same thing do in the second component as well. So just copy paste this thing. Go to second component, TS file. In the calculate function, we'll write this part. We have to import the service here. That is factorial service. We will create a constructor. This constructor is having a private f of type factorial service. That's it. Refresh, working fine. Check it here. 5, 120, 8, 438. Right answer. Let's check it for 4. Okay. It is getting multiplied. Okay, okay. After that, you can declare this dot number as 0 and then this dot fact or this dot fact as 1. Same thing you can do with the first component as well. 24. We need to make changes into the service section because now we are using the service. So here after returning the fact, it is returning the fact value. What it will do, returning the fact. Okay, so declare one more value as result, res. Res initial value is 1. Here you are setting res equals to fact this dot res equals to this dot fact, and you are returning the value of res to the users. Why? So that you can make this dot fact as 1 again. 24 and here 120. Okay, that's it. That was the main use of service. Now what you are doing, you are writing your logic at only a single place. You are writing the logic only on a single place. That's how your services works. Because this is a normal project, we are not having too much tough things here, right? We are not having too much tough things. But whenever you are building a big project, same logic you will use many times, and that's why service comes in action. And we are representing a data from it. What we are sending a data of factorial, so we can call it a data service. So let's create the documentation. Practical of this. So in step 1, what you will do, generate a new project and name it as services. In step 2, generate two components and name them as first and second. In step 3, generate a new service in src slash app slash service folder and name it as factorial service. A simple factorial, because factorial service it will write by itself. After that, in the next step, that is step 4, in your app.component.ts file, import first component and second component. Okay. Then step 5, go to your first component.html and paste the below given code. This one. Then in the next step, that is your step 6, go to second.component.html and paste the below given code. Okay. After that, what you need to do in the step 7, go to first dot component or first create a service. So go to service factorial dot service dot ts and generate the code of and write the logic to calculate the factorial. So this is the code that you need to write for it. See, I'm giving you the entire code. You just need to copy paste it. But just don't do the copy paste. Learn it, that how it is working. In the step 8, now your service is ready to use. Now your service is ready to use. So in step 9, what we'll do? Go to first dot component dot ts and add the logic of service. For that, at first import the service and write its logic. So this is the logic. Okay. Then you got, that is step 10. Go to second dot component dot ts and follow the same procedure. And that's how you can use the service. Now understood? So when we can use service? Everywhere, whenever you are having the same logic in multiple components. That's it. If you are rendering the same data, use the service because it will save your time. Generally, this factorial logic came into 4 lines, but we have logic of 400 lines as well. In big projects, it will be 400 lines. In that, if you have 3 components, your total code will become too much longer. Your code will become too much longer. So that's why we will generate that 400 line logic into a simple service, and then we will use that service into other multiple components. Understood? Understood the services now? Very good. and lot of other services you can create. Backend API that will be taught in DJANGO, guys, or your entity framework. Spring Boot API, guys, this will be taught in Spring Boot. All the backend things will be taught to you in the backend classes. If you are from Java, Spring Boot will be there. If you are from Python, Django will be there. If you are from .NET, Entity Framework will be there. This is for client side, not for the server side. Server side will be taught to you in your backend frameworks. How to connect backend to the Angular? For that, you should have a backend, guys. If I'm teaching you Spring Boot, it doesn't make sense here, right? First, you need to create a Spring Boot application. So go to this website start.spring.io to generate a Spring Boot project. Go to this website. Now, if I will say here, you have to use the Maven build tool. What is Maven? You don't know anything in Maven. So these things are taught in backend classes, not in this Angular. What I will do, let's say we have a in Django also they will teach you how to connect it to your React or Angular. They'll teach you, right? Let's say you are having a Maven here. I will select Java. If I am writing Java code, can you understand it? No. Most of you are from Python and .NET. Python is not even an option for Spring Boot because Spring Boot is a framework of Java. If you want it, the integration with Django, so I'm not a Python faculty. I'm a Java faculty here. If you want .NET, that also I won't do. That's why I'm saying these things will taught to you in particular backend classes, right? But if you are asking it, let's say if anyone here is from Java, he will say that, sir, teach it with Spring Boot. Okay. Let's say I know Spring Boot, so I can teach. Then Python people will come. That Django is also there. Then entity framework people will also come for .NET. These things will be in your backend classes. 110%. How to integrate database. My answer will be very same. If you are from Java, JDBC is there, Java database connectivity. By using that, you will create. For Python, what you use? Which API you use? MySQL is database name. PDBC? Which API you use for Python? Sorry? Say it loudly, please. Okay. In the same way, if you are from .NET, you are working with C Sharp, things are there. So these are not in Angular, guys. Connecting database is a backend part. Okay. REST API. We have done, I think, two project using API. Only one. Weather project, and that's it. Okay. Progressive web app. Guys, progressive web app means you have to create a web application using React Native. Then you can create a progressive web app. Open the website of Hotstar. That is a progressive web app. Means whatever thing is running on mobile will be running same. Adding Bootstrap to Angular. We have already added Bootstrap to Angular. The starting days only we did it. For Python full stack, Spring will not be there. DJANGO will be there. So do one thing. We are creating one more project. Actually, I was not having any plan to create a new project. Sorry. But now let's say at least two project. Sorry for the inconvenience. So let's create another project, and that project is going to be the currency converter. Sir, take a few more classes. Your projects are exciting. So if you are feeling that my projects are good, so other students are also waiting for me, right? So there is a like timelines for us that we have to follow. I wish that I should teach you for 1 year, but that is your loss, right? That is your loss. Okay. So we are going to create a currency converter. Currency, you know, what is Indian currency? Rupees. Now let's say if you want to create, sir, take a special class for Sunday. Hey, Sunday I don't take classes. That's for sleeping, guys. Sunday is the sleeping day. No classes on Sunday. So let's say in America, USD works, means American dollar, which is equals to around 86 rupees in Indian. Now this is exciting project, right? So what you can do is you can write a project which will be converting the currencies all over the world. For that we need a API because currency changes daily. Let's say today $1. Let's check what is the rate today. So today it is 86.84. Yesterday it was somewhat less. Previous days back it was around 82, 83, 84, 85. So daily it changes. Means 86 Indian rupees will be equal to 1 American rupees. This is the logic. Now we'll create a project like this. For that, let's quickly generate a project. And this is a bonus project for you. I was not having any plan to do any other project. ng new, and we shall write a name. Same name I will write, that is currency hyphen converter. Normal CSS I want. I don't want website rendering. So let me tell you, make this PWA so that we can install directly to your phone. And for that, you should at least understand the Android coding, guys. Progressive web app doesn't mean only Angular. It requires the Android coding as well. So you just search here currency converter API and go to this Fawad Ahmad GitHub account, and in that this is the page. In that these are the links. These are the links that you can use. So list all the available currencies in prettified JSON format. If you are going to this link, if you are going to this particular link, it will give you the list of all the currencies. So these are all of the currencies available. Inch, Ave, Cardano, Emirati Dirham. This is from Dubai. Dirham. So when I was in Dubai, it was around 22 Indian rupees will be equal to 1 Indian rupee. Now I don't know. This is Afghani rupee. This is Akash network. This is like all the currencies are available here. For Indian currency, the code is INR. So go to Indian currency. This is INR, Indian rupee. All the currencies are available here. If you check currencies, this particular part, copy this link. I was working as a ethical hacker in Dubai, and this particular link. So here, which currency you are fetching? EUR.json. So I will fetch INR.json. So now it is telling me 13th of February 2025, means yesterday's data is coming, not today's data, which will be equal, like I think they updates afternoon. Yesterday, so yesterday, 1 Indian rupee was equals to this much inch away, like that. So there is some country who is having the currency AOA. In that, 1 Indian rupee is equals to 10 Indian rupee. Once you go to Vietnam, its visa on arrival is there in Vietnam. You will find that 1 Indian rupee is equals to around 250 rupees there. Really, it is like that. 1 Indian rupee is equals to around, let's check here. For that, we will search Vietnam currency, and the currency of Vietnam is Dong. So search here Dong. Viet. Let's scroll. So it is VND. Now, 1 Indian rupee is equals to 293 in Vietnam. Means if you are taking 10 rupees from India, they will be around 3000 there. Don't think that you can enjoy it freely there because things are also very expensive. So when I went to Vietnam, so generally if you are going somewhere, you have a habit of purchasing something as a memory. So I went to a clothing store. There I saw like shirts. So shirts costing was around 1 lakh, 1 lakh 20,000, 1 lakh 50,000. Vietnamese dong. In Indian rupees, it will come around 600, 700. So whatever shirt price is in India is there also. Same price, right? Because you will convert your Indian rupee there, right? So their expenses are like that. There, when like you, I am having a habit of having tea because continuous speaking, continuous working, I like tea very much. So without tea, my day don't start. So when I was having tea, I saw like when first day I landed there, I just from airport I went to the hotel and slept. Morning I wake up, I should like let's have a tea. So I went out, I saw the prices. Prices was written in Indian rupees also. And I was having knowledge because you have to have some currency there. Whenever you are leaving India and you are going to any other country, the check-ins in the airport will ask you that why are you going? You said traveling. Do you have enough money? Because if you are going to any other country and if you don't have money, it's an insult of India. So they will say that at least maintain 1 lakh rupees with you in your bank account and have some exchange currency, right? So, like I went there at that time when in India the tea was available for 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 20 rupees, a single cup of tea. I went out there and I was like 4,500 rupees. Indian rupees, they have written INR 4,500. I said, what? Then I just got to know that this is for Indian pupils that you need to pay 4,500 dong, their currency, which was around something like that 30, 35 rupees for us. Okay, that is fine. So it's like that. So we will create this application to convert the currency. So project I think is created currency converter. And again, this is a bonus project for you. How much salary is given that country? Which country? I was not working in Vietnam. I went just for visiting that. Because I love traveling. If you are a developer, have any of your wish because it's very boring field, very hectic also. It will drain your entire energy. So you need something to get your energy back. Either go to traveling. I love traveling, so I travel. Ethical hacking have featured. What is the cost of round trip to Vietnam? It depends on you for how many days you are going, what you are purchasing there, where you are visiting. If you are a mid-level traveler, means you are a budget traveler, it will be around 1.5 lakhs now. And if you are a very tight traveler, then 1.2. There are some companies also that gives you packages that 50,000 package to Vietnam means you have to pay them 50,000. They will take care because they will take an entire group. It depends that by what flight you are going. Depend lot of factors are there. Finally, we are not talking about that. Let's come to our application. So our application is running. We'll go to app.component.html and we will remove everything. We have removed everything. As this is not going to have multiple pages, only a single page it is going to have. Ethical hacking best to learn or not? Everything is best to learn if you are learning it seriously. If you know Python, good to go. If you know Java, good to go. If you're from .NET, good to go, but learn that thing properly. So first what we will do is we should create a background. So go to universal style. I'll call the universal selector. Keep the margin as 0 pixel. Keep the padding as 0 pixel. Box sizing border box. India is best, by the way. So here we'll create a main container. It will be having a class as container. Go to its CSS as well. We'll write dot container. It will have width of 100 view width. It will have height of 100 view height. It will have a background color of coral. And let's check. So it's coming. In the center, I will create, or let's use a background image here. Everywhere color doesn't looks good. As we are converting the money, so I will search money kind of thing here. What if we are keeping this background? So we'll use this one. Let's check whether the link is available or not. So no, just no problem. Where we need to keep this particular one? In SRC, there should be assets folder. So we don't have any folder. In SRC, assets we need to create. And I will rename the image as money. If we want to use it, we need to change our angular.json, search assets here and give the path src/assets. Keep the comma. That's it. And here to this container, I will give a background image. Background image URL. What URL we should give here? Slash assets slash money.jpg. And here we'll check nothing is coming. So first save the file. Okay, we need to change it to the exact path. Okay, what happened? Wait. Okay, because we have made the changes into angular.json, so we need to rebuild it. So now image is coming. Hello. You can go outside if you are having an urgent call. In this particular image, we'll create another div here. And to this, I will give a class as currency and I will convert it to a card. So go there. This container is displaying flags and aligning the items in center and justifying the contents in center. After that, we got dot currency. Here width I will keep around, let's say 350 pixel, and height I will keep around 450 pixel. Background color white I will keep here. So you will see a byte kind of card is coming. Instead of giving it a white color, let's give it a somewhat dark color so that it will come in this way. Give some border radius to it of around 20 pixel. So it got. Now it will have from currency and to currency. That from which currency you want to convert and to what currency. So there will be two section. So here what I will do in this div, at first I will write a heading from, and in this div I will write a heading to. That from this currency to this currency I will write it. We'll design it, don't worry. Let's attach a padding to this. So we'll attach a padding of let's say 20 pixel. So from 2 it's coming here. After that, what we will do, to this currency section, I will say that you are displaying a flex. Flex direction is column, and you are justifying the content in space around. So we will get from and to like this. After this from, it should show us all the currencies. It should show us all the currencies. How it will show all the currencies? So it should have a input box for that. It is having a input box. Here I will write type as select, because you should select the currency. So input type as select. For that we can create a select of, we can create a select tag as well. Select, and in that we will be having the options. So something like that you create option 1, option option 1, option 2. So okay, what's problem? We need to write them the name that for which select box they are working, but select box will come in this way, right? Select box will come in this way. Here we need to display all the currencies. These are all the currencies available which are on this link. So copy this link, go to the app component TS file. In this TS file, create a currencies folder, and currency folder will be a of any type. It will be currency of any type. In any, it will be a array of any or simple any. There is a function as, or directly I will try to write something as fetch. Why we write fetch? Why we write fetch? To find a link, and this is the link that we are fetching, right? What we need to do? Dot then, remember we were fetching the APIs. Wait, if you are having this sort of issue, even my health, like I'm getting uncomfortable. So we'll do this project tomorrow, but let me show you how we will do this, how the design will look alike. We'll do this project tomorrow after this particular part, but I am showing you how you will do. So this project will something look like this, right? That from which currency? So I'll write from, let's say I will write here US dollar. So you can select U US dollar. I want to convert it to Indian rupee. So go to I and write, select here Indian rupee. Here you can write the value, let's say $12, or we'll do one thing that we'll convert it from Indian rupee. So from JKII Indian rupee, where it is Indian rupee to Vietnam. So if you are having 100 rupees in India, calculate it will be equal to 29,372 rupees in Vietnam. So this kind of project we will do. Okay. If you want to use the same background, we can use, and this kind of things we will do. In this project, we are using the same API that Fawaz Ahmed will use the same API here as well in our Angular. So this kind of project we will do, right? Understood? Very good. Fine, guys. Let's connect